Howdy folks, how's it diddling? In this video, we're going to find out an issue with the Clio. It won't start. Yay. So, join me as I show you how to diagnose a bad fuel pump. Bloody French cars. How much rust? All of it. Right, let me just slide my skinny body. Skinny. Got to somehow slide through a gap that is, oh, bloody hell. Not, I've put some bloody weight on, I can tell you. Come on. Right, so this car, I did a video on it a while ago showing that this car started, and it does, and since then it's been a couple of months since then. Now I needed to move this so I can do some more welding, so I started at the MG, no problems, that fired up, was a bit low on fuel but got it running. This thing, chucked a battery in it, nothing. Just cranked and cranked and cranked and cranked. So I went out to a Motor Factors and bought myself, because I thought genuinely it was the relay. So bought a new relay, because a genuine relay for these can be quite expensive and also quite hard to find. But I found a relay, 5-pin, all that, 20 amp. Put that in and we're still getting the same problem. So here's the issue. So get the ignition key, start it, make sure it's out of gear, and nothing. She's just won't. Oh shit! She won't fire. I really need to clean this car out because it's an absolute pigsty in here. So you can see I need to get round to cleaning it. So what I've done in the Clio, here's a fuel pump cover, just a plastic cover. There's the plug. Now when I turn the key, I can't hear this, which I originally thought it might have been the relay. And to be fair, the relay was about pooched. Now I know the relay I've put in is good. So what we're going to do is pop this plug off. Now I haven't got a test light, but I've got one better. It's a boost gauge. Now you're probably thinking, how the hell is a boost gauge going to tell me if I'm getting power to the pump through this plug? That's quite simple. This has got a light, and you've got a yellow and a black cable that's just all tied up. There we go. So what I'm going to do, now this yellow wire here, quite conveniently matching, that is your power, and then your other one is like a ground or something. So we're going to stick the yellow wire into the yellow wire. I'm trying to do this, I was told in the camera, is like trying to pat your belly and rub your stomach. Pat your belly and rub your stomach. I meant pat your head and rub your stomach. Come on. Oh, don't be such a ball ache. So you plug that one in there, throw it in, and then your black one, throw it in the terminal in the top. Is that in? Yeah. Now, let me show you the genius of this idea. Now, when you start a car, the fuel pump, you'll hear it prime for literally a second or two. So what we're going to do is hold that there. It's very difficult, folks, to do this all on me Todd. What we're going to do is watch the gauge. Now the light should come on momentarily. There we go. and it goes off. Now that's meant, now when I crank it, we'll see if we've got power. So there we go. So, take the keys out the ignition. So by using a simple light on that, we know that we've got power to this plug. So the fuel pump is pooched, most likely. But the ultimate way to test it is to take the fuel pump out and then put some wires in there, connect it up to a battery, and ultimately check it. Now I could do this in the car, but I really can't be bothered. Plus the fact is this pump has probably got to come out anyway. And do those wires. Get that out of the way. So the pump's got to come out anyway. Now you've got 3 clips. Now this looks like to be the original pump, because you've got the logo, the Renault logo there. Now you've got this pointy thing there, I've marked it. And you've got these 3 clips. By the look of it, they are original and they've been taken off. So this is going to be fun taking this off. So I'll quickly cut these off. And I've got some Jubilee clips to replace these. God, I'm out of breath. I'm so fat. It's all the pies I've been eating. And just being generally unhealthy. So, and also, just as a reference, so you've got these little markers here. So you've got brown, green, and white. You've got a white-ish marker here, a greenish marker there. There was a brown mark here, but it rubbed off. So at least we know which way that they can go on. Now I just got to very carefully take these off. So there we go. Oh, that was fairly painless. I'm pretty sure you're not meant to be able to just slide it off like that with these clips, but hey ho, and I'm instantly getting a whiff of fuel. Let me get back to you folks, because doing this one-handed is rather tricky. Right, they're off. This one did spurt a bit of fuel, that one. So, but not a lot. And the fuel, as I was meant to say before having a tongue twister, the fuel doesn't smell too bad, doesn't smell great. Now I have put some petrol in here, but there could be a possibility that there might be some moisture in there and everything like that. So we're going to quickly, got this ring around here, ring around the roses and all that jazz. So I need to knock this to unloosen it. So I've got me Shadrach Thor hammer. Yes, Thor hammer, look, Thor. So I've got the number 3 Shadrach fuck off 9000. So we're going to bash this ring off and then hopefully get the pump out. And again, I'll pull the camera when I've done that. Well, what can I say? That was a right pain in the arse. It was saying that it's never been undone. That was rather tricky. But a combination of using these big buggers, managed to get these in here and just move the whole assembly. You can see from here where the arrow is, just kind of, it was round about there. I just had to move the whole assembly very carefully without trying to break anything to be able to get to it. So flip them down there. There we go. Oh, come on, you bugger. So there's the ring. Don't think it's ever been taken off. Right. I want to try and clean up some of this crap off, because I don't really want this to go into the tank, as it were. Get a screwdriver in here and just... yeah, that will do. Right. Are we ready, folks? It's smelling rather delicious of petrol. And I think it's going to be a little bit tight. And There we go. There is said fuel pump. Doesn't look horrific. Just going to let that sit there and just drip dry for a bit. Yeah, there is the fuel pump. More particularly that piece there. That's the fuel pump. Because you've got the sock on the bottom. Hey, that's not too bad, folks. Oh, I'm getting petrol all over me. That doesn't look too bad. I've seen a lot worse. And in regards to the petrol in that bit, there's a bit of sediment in there, and it looks a bit wee colour, but it's certainly not the worst I've ever smelt, and it's not varnished, so that is a good point. So I'm thinking that it's just basically through time and age, either a wire, whether something's just gone completely wrong and it's just had its moment. So I'm going to clean that off, grab a battery, grab some wires, put it in there and try not to blow myself up. This is why I'm not going to do it in the car, because a spark plus petrol equals flames and a big bang and well, a melty face. So let's get this out and give it a test. Right, after much faffing about, so got the fuel pump out. As you can see, the sock has just disintegrated. Not saying it's a 95, so it's nearly 30 years old. But the pump sits in there. Now, usually you can undo these tabs, but these are absolute pain in the bum to undo. Plus they're plastic and I don't want to break them. So I did it the hard way. Now you've got this pipe, which, again, that is meant to be in the top of there, like so. That's your feed. So yeah, and then you've got this little thing, this doodah, which sits like that. Oh, pardon me, sits like that and like that, and then this loops. Probably so that sits in there. It loops inside and then on the outside, and it goes onto there. So. And then you've got two wires and then two little clips, which I might end up using, I don't know. I'll just put on some standard clips, I'm not sure yet. I can possibly reuse them. Might be able to reuse them, folks. But yeah, so here's the pump. So I've got a bit of wiring. Oh, also, to hold this all in, there's this metal plate here with 2 screws. As you can see, the state of the plate. So that was the bit exposed to the fuel tank. So that essentially just sits on like so and just stops the pump. So as you can see here, there's a bit of varnish on the bottom of here. So I'm assuming what's happened is, with it being sat for so long, like I say, it did run and it started a while ago, but clearly I think the pump's had enough, and judging by the state of this sock and yeah, that's quite tarry there. Yeah, so I think it's had its day. So I'm going to quickly get these wires, connect them up, and just touch them on this battery and see if it works. Right, nothing but the best. So we've got this connected up here to the live. So let's see if it'll chooch. Oh, that's not good. So it's just oh, it's got life. Oh, okay. Now, of course, don't worry about all the petrol that's just splattered around the battery. So it works. Okay. So we know that it works. Kind of. It's just... It's very intermittent. Okay, so the pump works. Rightio. As you can see, the pump is back together. There we go. Hasn't got the sock. So I phoned up a Motor Factors. Now, I've looked on eBay, looked at Motor Factors. I can get one off eBay. The cheapest one is a Lucas. Oh, Lucas Mint. For about 17 quid, but the average between about 25 all the way up to about 40, 50 quid. You can get race spec ones, and all that. But yeah, phoned up a Motor Factors local to me. They can get me one. It's Bosch, but there is a couple of problems. One, it doesn't come with the strainer, so it's just the pump itself. And I'm looking at £132 for that. So, yeah, that ain't going to happen. But since this one seems to be working again, I've plugged it in. I've also checked. So I plugged it in before putting the pump fully into the casing. It was kind of dirty dangling. I connected up the cables. I checked these connectors up here, which correspond to these two here, to make sure that that was getting power, and sure enough it was running the motor. So I think it was just full of gunk and we've kind of fixed it. Now this is a temporary solution. Obviously I need to get a strainer for here because this is what's left of the old one now. Not going to strain much, but I'm going to get another one. But for the meantime I'm literally just going to chuck this back in the car just to test it, to make sure that it actually works. Because if it does, then great. But like I say, I need a strainer for it. So I'll quickly have my cigarette, because fuel and fire don't mix. And then we'll jump into the car and yeah, throw it back together, plumb it all in, and we'll go from there. Right, back in the car. Time to throw the pump in. Now there is some bits and pieces in there, which hopefully that won't suck in, but if all goes well, get that in, plumb these back up, plug the plug in, connect the battery and fire her up. There we go, all connected up. These are a bit of a pig to clip on, but pair of these just to help. So they're on, plug in. Time to connect up the battery, because safety. Now I'm going to leave this cover off for the time being, because when I crank it, just want to make sure that fuel isn't spurting everywhere. So yeah, let's see if that little fix has oh come on, get there. Let's see if that fix has worked. Right, battery's connected. Now I'm sat in the back, but I'm going to quickly jump into the front. I'm not as flexible as I used to be. Oh, come on, get off. What a palaver, and now my leg's stuck. Come on, come on. Now I'm getting cramp in my legs. Right, let's see if all that hassle and work has paid off. Oh, I heard the pump, man. Let's I heard it go. So, clutch in, here we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. I think the pump's died just again. I suspect the pump, let's just place you somewhere. Oh, a handy little hole there. Turn the key, see if I can feel the pump. I can hear it and feel it. Just cycle it a few times. Right. It's not leaking, is it? Oh dear. Well, looks like we got another problem. According to this, it's got a full tank. I don't think it has, by some chance. That gauge is taking forever to move. No, she doesn't want to have any of it, so I don't want to dead the battery down. Well, we know that the pump works now because I can hear it. So the pump works, which is great, and we heard it cough a couple of times, and now we've got nothing. So need to figure out what that is. French cars, eh? Absolutely fantastic. Well, at least we, like I say, we managed to set out what the plan was to find out if the pump was nadgered. Turns out it was probably a bit gunged up and everything, but it's back working. I'll get a new pump ordered at some point, so it's got a sleeve on it as well, so you know, one of those sock filter things. But in the meantime, I will dig into to find out why it won't fire into life, because we've got fuel now. We know we've got plenty of air, and it did cough a bit, so possibly a weak spark or something. I don't know, but we'll dig into that in another video. This sunlight's ruining me. So if you like this kind of video, folks, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, entirely up to you. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And yeah, and from me and this absolute shitbox Renault Clio, have a good one, and remember, tidy bar. Fucking French bag of shit.